Hello, everyone. My name is Stanley St. Rose, and today we're going to be talking about Portrait of a Lady, written by T.S. Eliot. Now, before I go into this poem, please remember to give a like, subscribe, and/or comment so that the channel can continue to grow. All right, Portrait of a Lady, very interesting poem here by T.S. Eliot. You have a young undergrad with an old lady. They're having meetings. They have three meetings where they spend time together. The first one, they go to a music recital, and then after the music recital, they talk about it, and the lady has her thoughts. And throughout these three meetings that they have, we learn about the lady and the young man. The lady wants a friend. She wants to get close to this young man, this undergraduate, but she really wants a friend. This poem doesn't really convey any other things than the lady wants a good friend, someone to talk to, someone to understand her emotions. And the young man feels it's like he doesn't quite know how to handle this situation. The lady, she's lived a long time. She's been young, she's been youthful. When you're young, in terms of deeper meaning and analysis, as we go through this summary, when you're young, you want to experience all the things that life has for you. All the things with love, marriage, wealth, finances, having a good time. But when you start to get closer to death, and you get those lonely, um, those lonely aspects of life, you start to reflect on certain things that you probably didn't think about in your youth. And this lady, she conveys this atmosphere, this emotion, this reality within this poem. She wants a friend within this young man, someone to talk to, someone to understand her emotions, her feelings, her inner being. And this young man, he's young, he doesn't understand all of that. He wants to drink beer. Like after the music recital, he wants to drink beer, he wants to smoke, he's bored. He wants to do something more fun, talk about current events or something like that. And when you're young, that's what you want to do. You want to get into politics or get into changing the world. When people are young, they want to make the world better and change the world, and become president or start a revolution. But when you start to get old, you're like, I just want to not do any of that. I know after the world has walloped you enough, after the world has knocked you down enough, you get comfortable with the status quo. Now, within this poem, it does convey that there is a huge gap between people who are older and people who are younger. People who are younger, they want to have fun. Like the young man here, he wants to have fun. He wants to enjoy life. And the older woman, she's thinking about death. She's thinking about dying. She's thinking about having a friend. Throughout the poem, she kind of seems very depressed at times, and like a person who's lonely, like a person who needs a friend. But the young man's not really interested in that. They do have these three meetings. They have like a tea party. They drink tea together and they talk. And the woman keeps trying to get closer to him, and trying to create these scenarios where they become good friends. But the young man, he's really not that interested. It is implied that what if she dies one day? What will that do to the young man? How deep is their relationship? And the young man, he doesn't really, he's gonna go away, he's gonna have his life. They just don't have this deep relationship that this lady was looking for. In terms of deeper meaning, I mean, this poem does have you reflect, the portrait of this lady. Um, it's something that we have to take into consideration. Seeing a woman who is closer to dying than her youth, reflecting on life, seeing that maybe having a human connection with someone is more important than other things, and not being able to have it. It does set a lot of. It paints a picture. It paints a picture of life, of existence, of loneliness, of what it means to exist in the world when you want a deeper connection with somebody and you can't have it. The differences between young people and old people, and how that plays out. There are so many layers to this poem. The lady and the young man, um, they're on two different parts of life. The young man is on his way up, and the old lady is thinking about the afterlife. Um, and the connection she wants to make is not what he wants to do because he's in the prime of his life and she's not. Um, and yeah, there's a disconnect. There's definitely a disconnect. Um, so yeah, that's the poem. That's what happens within it. Personally, when I look at this poem, I think if it was a female, maybe they would have, a young woman versus with a older woman trying to understand life together. Maybe there would have been a better connection there. But the young man here, I don't think he truly understands what she's going through and what she's experiencing because she's very internal, thinking about her emotions, her feelings, her views on life, and things like that. But he just, again, he's kind of like he's bored at times. He wants to have a good time. He wants to be young. He wants to be youthful. He's in the dawn of life, and she's not. And sometimes when you're that different from someone, it's really hard to understand what they're going through and what they're looking for. They talk about their friendship, but again, it's kind of hard to have a friendship with somebody with that huge of an age gap because you just don't see life the same way. It's the same way when older, when couples get together and there's a huge age difference between couples, between maybe the woman and the man or the man and the woman. When you see that, um, in the media, a lot of people always have questions. How does that work? Is because the age difference can be quite. I mean, if you're decades apart from someone, you're gonna see life differently. If one is at the beginning of life and one's at the end of life, you're gonna view life differently because as you get older, your wants changes. What you want out of life changes, and so there are many layers of this poem to look at youth, the youth and people who are aging, and how making a connection between the two can be difficult. Um, yeah. But that's all I had to say about this poem. Please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and or comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video.